also got jobs working like in assisted living centers for older people, in special ed programs for any disabilities. Very frequently, the smaller schools had a classroom for all kinds of disabilities. So you had kids with vision problems and hearing problems and mental health problems and all in the same classroom. And there was a special ed teacher who was in charge, but she needed an assistant to say, you know, take care of these kids while I work with these and so on. And they got jobs like that. Well, they did just fine. They could say it was consistent with their training. But they weren't mental health, you know, as such. And so we found the terminology in their jobs switching to human service rather than just mental health. And, of course, our grant came from the National Institute of Mental Health, so we tended to keep talking about mental health workers in our reports back to them. But actually, the thing was obviously clearly moving. And by the time we had ended the project, we'd been influential in establishing a national organization of human service workers and the Council for Standards in Human Services Education.
Would you describe the certification that you had in mind at that time?
Well, I don't think at the time we started this program we had certification in mind, but as the graduates began to come out, there was also an increasing movement in all of the health professions, particularly, to have workers certified. If you weren't certified or licensed or registered by some agency, Medicare and Medicaid would not pay for your care. And so if these people were going to get paid, they needed to have some kind of a certification or registration in order to qualify. And now most of the health insurance programs have picked up on that same idea. So it's more than Medicare and Medicaid. So that obviously became a necessary thing. But that was a later project. I guess we'd been working in this area for 5 years with the colleges and developing the curriculum guidelines and practicum training ideas and so forth. And then it was toward the end that this need for certification became more obvious. And so we had another project at the end, 2-year project, to develop a certification program and test it.
If you were hiring a human service worker today, what particular skills would you be looking for in that individual?
Well, like I said, it'd be the skills of those roles. And then a couple things that we talked about a lot that get to be a problem. And we found this in the evaluation on the certification project. Our certification test that we developed had knowledge and skill items, which are the traditional things we train in and test for and so forth when you're hiring somebody. But why do you fire people? You fire them for personality problems. You fire them for value problems. Now, when you think about it, all the skills you would want for a human service worker or a social worker are the same skills that you would want for a Nazi interrogating, you know, one of the guys who works for the CIA and beats the people at Gitmo and so forth. You'd want the same identical skills, but a whole different set of values, a whole different set of personality skills. And those are things that academia didn't want to fool with. Job hirers don't want to fool with them either, but that's why they fire them. And one of the things the certification tests showed that the truly incompetent, the guys that flunked the test were truly incompetent by their supervisors. The ones that passed the test with the highest scores, though, were not necessarily the ones the supervisors rated the highest. And it was the personality and the value things that made the difference in the outstanding workers as opposed to the competent ones.
Could you describe some of those personal qualities that that you would look for in a person?
Well, sort of a commitment to your, the kind of work you're doing, commitment to the client's need, not just your own need. I mean, it's 4 o'clock, gotta go home now. We can't see anybody after 3 o'clock because I gotta leave here at 4, and I know that kind of personal, I do only what I have to do attitude you don't need. And like I say, respect for other people and different values, different attitudes, and different people, and still ability to treat them humanely and so forth. Those are the things that I think are more important to, in addition to the basic skills that the certification tests.
Or you would recommend, who would you suggest to them?
I don't know. I think one guy who probably touched on more kinds of mental illness in a more creative way than almost anybody else was Shakespeare. If you read his plays of Shakespeare, you learn an awful lot about the plays of emotions and mental illness and so forth.
Peace and sanity be unto you. Hello, I'm Hasson Rashid, and welcome to another episode of your Human Service News and Information. I'll be here with you for approximately 25 more minutes. It's excellent being here with you once again, and it's such a great achievement to come into your households, lives, or wherever you are watching or observing or just indulging in this broadcast. It's also a good achievement once again to come into your lives, and it's excellent being here with you once again. Okay, I'll get it right. We'll get back to that opening video. It's a continuation of another segment of the Dr. Harold McFeeters interview. Dr. Harold McFeeters, the founder of Standard Human Service Education, as it is known here in the United States, Western Hemisphere, and I guess abroad too. But we're going to try to get back to Dr. McFeeters and the interview and human services. Okay, but I'd like to also give you some information from the National Organization of Human Services journal. It's a peer-reviewed journal, and there's a lot of information in here about the human service industry sector and MOSAIC. Okay, so we're going to try to get back to that later on, but I'd like to tell you a little bit about what's happening here at CCTV right now. There are 3 journalism classes planned, so you don't want to miss. That's right, 3 journalism classes planned right here at CCTV. The first one is entitled Producing a News Package. The second one is entitled Journalism 101. And the third one is entitled Using Social Media to Report the News. Okay, as the first one, I'm gonna give you some detail, a little detail insight into what this first course is about. It's entitled Producing a News Package. This class will take you through the entire process of creating a news package, from pitching the project to crediting the talent. Okay, the second one, Journalism 101. Will help you explore the fundamentals of journalism, from generating ideas to content creation. And this starts February 26th, Monday, February 27th, 6 to 9 p.m. Let me get back to the first one, Producing News Package. I forgot to give you the dates and the time. That's Monday, January 30th, February 6th, February 13th. 2 classes, 6 to 9 p.m. That's Producing a News Package. Or once again, that's Monday, January 30th, February 6th. 3 classes, January 30th, February 6th, and February 13th, 6 to 9 p.m. The second one, once again, is Journalism 101. Explore the fundamentals of journalism, from generating ideas to content. And that course will transpire or take place Sunday, February 26th and Monday the 27th. So this course will only meet for 2 days, and it'll be from 6 to 9 p.m. Once again, explore the fundamentals of journalism, Journalism 101, from generating ideas to content creation, Sunday, February 26th and Monday, February 27th, 6 to 9 p.m. And the third one is using social media to report the news. This class will explore how journalists use social media to report the news in real time. And this class will be meeting on Tuesday, March 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. So you have plenty of time to register for these classes, okay? Or inquire about more detail about these classes. There's a lot more detail available for you. So you can call 617-661 6900. That's 438 Massachusetts Central Square. That's Cambridge Community Television, right in the heart of Central Square. 617-661-6900. And if any of those 3 classes on journalism interest you, you can call. Once again, you can call this number for additional information. That's a 617-661-6900. Okay, guess what? One more thing about CCTV I'd like to share with you. The CCTV's new newsletter is out, and it's entitled Open Studio, and it's for the month of January, February, and March, and everything that is happening here within those 3 months, SEC classes, etc., etc., etc. You can find it right here at CCTV's new newsletter, and it's entitled Open Studio, and you come right here, 438 Massachusetts Avenue, and pick up your copy. So they're always here, and you can get a load out. But if you don't feel like coming in, you can call, inquire about the classes, the upcoming classes. I just gave you a brief description of 3, but there are many more classes available from January to March. So you can call to inquire about some of the classes or come in and visit. 617-661-6900. Okay, February, I don't know if they're going to have an open house here at CCTV in February, but if they do, I'll convey the information on to you. Okay, tonight at 5:30 now, don't forget this now. May take a real good serious note of this one. This is the Finance Committee of the City of Cambridge, and they're conducting a public hearing tonight to discuss the fiscal year 18 operating and capital budget. This hearing, it's going to be televised too. I think that's this is City TV channel 22. I think that's it. But don't forget now, 5:30 tonight, the Finance Committee will be conducting a public hearing to discuss the fiscal year 18 operating capital budget, and this involves everything that the city does. It's inculcated in this operating and capital budget. So, and it's all based on taxpayers' monies and public funding. So this is a very interesting event, and I invite you to come on out and see what your elected officials, policymakers are doing with your money. That's taxpayers' money and public funding, etc., etc. That's a Finance Committee conduct a public hearing to discuss fiscal year 18 operating and capital budget. This hearing is to be televised. Okay, that's I think the City Hall is at 795. Okay, that's right, 795 Massachusetts Avenue, Cambridge, and they'll be meeting right in the Sullivan Chamber. Okay, another local note thing I'd like to bring to your attention: the Alliance of Cambridge Tenants. I know you haven't heard from them in a long time, but they're still in existence. The Alliance of Cambridge Tenants is still in existence, and they're your advocate, low renters advocates. Okay, so they indulge in their business as low income renters advocacy. Whether you get on the the act. Okay, let me see if I can give you some information about the Alliance of Cambridge Tenants. Okay, their monthly meetings, and everyone that's a low income renter is automatically a member of the Alliance of Cambridge Tenants. So, I guess the upcoming meetings when I get that information, I'll definitely share it with you. But okay, if you're having problems with rent, etc., evictions, anything related to evictions, domestic abuse, etc., you can go to the Alliance of Cambridge Tenants for help. They'll definitely help you. Okay, whatever it is, as it relates to rent or other problems, domestic problems related to rent. Okay, so their contact information is 617-499-7031. Once again, that's 617-499-7031, and their email address is tenants@earthlink.com. And okay, I'm gonna get the website of the Alliance of Cambridge Tenants, and there's a lot of information there that can be had on the website. Okay, that's www.actcambridge.org. That's www.cambridge.org for more information about low-income renters issues. Okay, citywide low-income renters issue. Okay, we're gonna give you a little information and continue with that segment, our series we started on hate crimes. Okay, what you can do if you're a victim of hate crime, or if you witness a hate crime. So we got a video prepared for you. I'm gonna try to get that in before we leave the air. But this is another special event. I want to remind you. Black History Month is right around the corner, and one of the biggest events during Black History Month here in Cambridge is the annual NAACP Martin Luther King brunch. Okay, so that's coming up this year, and it's on February 25th, 2017, time 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And where? It's at the St. Paul AME Christian Life Center, 85 Bishop Richard Allen Drive, Cambridge. And the cost for this one is $60. So for more information, visit Facebook at Cambridge NAACP. Join the NAACP for an afternoon of food, music, networking. Interim President, former Mayor Kenneth Reeves, interim First Vice President Richard Harding, who's currently a school board member, and they invite you to come out and join them on February 25th, 2017 for the 2017 Cambridge NAACP. That's the National Association of Advancement of Colored People. That's their annual Martin Luther King brunch. Right now, I don't have any detailed information on the keynote speakers, the featured speakers, but there's plenty of time to get that information out for you. So I just want you to keep this on your mind that this year there will be an NAACP Martin Luther King brunch. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm Hasson Rashid, and this is your Human Service News and Information at Cctv. I think that's Channel 9. Okay. Tools for understanding budget proposal. It's a lot of talk about the budgets now everywhere. State budgets and local budgets. Tools for understanding state budget proposals. This is what we're going to try to indulge you with a little bit in. Okay, indulge a little bit in for you. Tools understanding state budget. It may take more time than I have to share with you, but we'll try to get you create some idea in your mind of what tools for understanding state budget proposals are. Okay, tomorrow the governor will kick off state budget season by releasing a detailed fiscal year 2018 budget proposal. The governor's proposal begins an important process of determining what we as a Commonwealth hope to do together through our government and detailing how we will pay for those things. Key subsequent steps in the process are: April, the House will debate and approve its fiscal year 2018 budget proposal. In May, the Senate does the same. In June, a joint House-Senate conference committee reconciles difference between these two budgets. The final budget plan, which requires the government's signature, would ideally be completed by July 1st and the beginning of fiscal year 2018. So we got plenty of time to look at and discuss what does the governor plan for the human service sector and MOSAIC in the budget. So when that information is available, I'll definitely share with you, okay? We're gonna monitor this budget right here at your Human Service News and Information, okay? All right. Okay, I had another one for you. Another article that I found, and it was by Liz O'Connor, and it was on the massnonprofit.org website, and it was entitled 3 Steps to Racial Diversity Conversations You Want. But it's a kind of lengthy article, and I don't think we have time to do it now. But so I'm just going to run through some things that's happening, a few events that's coming up for the remainder of the few minutes that we have left. Okay, the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University, and that's okay, next Monday, January 30th, at 5:30 p.m., the Harvard Kennedy School, Balfour Building, Bell Hall, 5th floor. They're going to be featuring the mayor, City of Somerville. That's Joseph A. Curtatone, Crystal Carnegie, who is the Undersecretary of Massachusetts. Hold it. Okay, a little technical difficulty here. Mr. McFeeters is... Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, here we go. Here I am. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Let me get back to what I was reading to you about. It was the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University. Next Monday, on the home front, state and local housing policies in the Trump area. That's the title of this event that's going to be held January 30th. Mr. McFeeters. Again, okay, Dr. McFeeters. Okay, what? Okay, all right, here we go now. Okay, Harvard Kennedy School, Belford Building, Bell Hall, 5th floor, Joseph A. Curtatone, that's Mayor, City of Somerville, Mass, and Crystal Carnegie, Undersecretary, Massachusetts Department of Housing and Community Development, Henry Corman, partner, Klein Horning, LLP, and Chris Herbert, Managing Director, Joint Center for Housing Studies, will be the moderator. And the Trump administration and the Republican-controlled Congress could portend significant changes in the many federal programs and policies that affect housing, community development. While it is too soon to know exactly what they will do, there are likely to be important discussions and debate in the coming months about future federal funding and tax incentives for housing, fair housing laws, the GSEs, and other federal policies. Panelists will discuss what they see as the most significant threats and possible opportunities, as well as how officials and advocates can prepare for response to possible shape key policies and programs in the next few years. So that's January 30th, that's Monday, and that's a Harvard Kennedy School, Bell Hall, 5th floor. Okay, so there's this Joseph A. Curtatone, a mayor of the City of Somerville, he said, which is a sanctuary city, and I think he's on the radio right now talking about Somerville keeping its sanctuary status because they're threatened. The Trump era has threatened all those cities who are sanctuary cities, taking away that status, and I think that includes Cambridge too. So you get on out to Harvard Kennedy School, Belford Building, Bell Hall, 5th floor. That's to see Mayor Curtatone, along with Crystal Carnegie and Henry Corman and Chris Halpern. Okay, I got one more thing I'd like to share with you about Black History Month, okay? Cambridge Mayor E. Denny Simmons Black History Month event. Meet the author Bernice L. McFadden. That's Thursday, February 23rd, 2007 from 6 p.m. To 8 p.m. That's the Cambridge Public Library main branch. Bernice L. McFadden is the author of 9 critically acclaimed novels, including Sugar, Loving Donovan, Nowhere is a Place, the warmest December gathering of waters, and New York Times Editor's Choice, and one of the 100 notable books of 2012, and Glorious, which was a finalist for the NSC Image Award. Her latest novel, The Book of Harlan, a Washington Post notable book of 2016, has been nominated for 2017 NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work. So that's Cambridge Mary D. Simmons Black History Month event, Thursday, February 23rd, 2017, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Cambridge Public Library, featuring Bernice L. McFadden, and I'm sure you'll be hearing more about Miss Fadden here at your Human Service News and Information. And one thing I like, before we go off there, remind you that the new edition of Spirit Change is out, and if you see the vendors out there, please help them out and purchase your copy of Human Service News and Information. I'm going to try to get a little bit of this hate crime video on for you if time permits. Hold on.
Clearly, you recognize the benefits of deinstitutionalization. Can you give us some examples of success stories?
And this will
We have a
couple of months arrested an African-American man for doing this. Now, of course, that doesn't mean it's not a hate crime, but the assumption, because of what was written on the church, was that this was a hate crime based on religious and or racial intolerance. But it ended up being a black man who was arrested for burning a black church. So we should never jump ahead and make assumptions that something is a hate crime unless charges have been filed. So we just have to be really careful.
One step before that, is it appropriate for a reporter to ask the police, are you investigating this as a hate crime?
It is always appropriate to ask as many questions as possible. And if police say we're investigating this as a hate crime, that is legitimate to be reported. But on your own as a reporter, if something is, if you just cannot say that this is a hate crime that's being investigated, because you as a journalist cannot make that distinction in a story.